In today's video, I'm going to give you a different perspective, if you will, to the Go RVing campaign, the new Go RVing campaign that RVIA has just launched. RVIA is an acronym for Recreational Vehicle Industry Association, RVIA. And they're the ones that put together the Go RVing campaign. You may have seen the commercials. You may have seen, they've been running recently. If you missed the commercials, if you missed what the whole change in direction, marketing direction that RVIA is going in, I've got a link down below. You can watch a video that I did on this entire subject. And I'd love to hear what you think. You can chime in like a lot of other people have done. But before I give you this, a different perspective and way that I'm looking at RVIA, I want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody that has called and emailed and posted comments to the RVIA marketing campaign, the rebranding effort. There are some things in that video that I thought were going to trigger some really negative stuff, that were really going to incite people. I was wrong, and I love to be wrong in a good way. I asked people if they posted to be measured, to be thoughtful, to be respectful of others, even if you have a different opinion, and they were all good comments. They didn't all believe like me, and that's good, but they voiced their opinions and their thoughts and their personal experiences. And if you were one of those comments, thank you. I mean it. I'm so grateful, and it gives me optimism that gives me optimism in sometimes what I think is a very dark world. So, all right, let me give you my perspective on this, the RVI advertising campaign. I went to the RVI website. Let's do that right now. I'm gonna show you the RVIA.org website. Here we go. And, this is industry people. The manufacturers are a part of this. But I went up here and I looked under do you have a mission statement? How about our impact? There we go. Uniting the RV industry to build a better future. That sounds good. It says the RV industry is committed to promoting exploration, adventure, and responsible recreation while advocating for innovation, conservation, and our business practices. As an association, we encourage and promote sustainability, diversity, safety, and the many community activities of our member companies. Find out how the RV industry and our partners in the outdoor segment are working together, blah, 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 blah. Again, it says uniting the RV industry to build a better future. Maybe it is time for RVIA, I'm just saying, to consider a change, modifying their mission. I couldn't find, like I said, I could not find a mission statement, but perhaps it's time for them to go, maybe we ought to adapt to the times. When the Go RVing campaign was first created, when we first saw ads, posters and magazine ads, billboards, it was back, I think it was 1997. Back in 1997, there was no Google, there was no TSA, there was no online banking, there were no flat screen TVs. Our world was a different place in 1997. It was also different in that the way we lived was different. As I said, we didn't have TSA. Most people in 1997, at least more people then than today, had a connection with the out of doors. They had an uncle who had a piece of property, or their grandparents had a piece of property or a place at the lake, and they could go out and enjoy nature, and they would do all different kinds of outdoor activities that were competing against RVing. Well, Go RVing said, no, we want you to go outdoors. We want you to spend your money in this, a crate on skates, as they say. And they did a very, very good job. It's easy to sell RVs when people need to escape, as I say. But the world has changed. Technology has changed, hasn't it? It's made our lives so much easier. I sometimes wonder if it has made our lives better. And I really mean that. Think about it, going to the doctor's office or banking or ordering groceries online. You didn't do that back in 1997. We have had to modify our lifestyle because technology has made our lives easy. I was looking at Napoleon, my little Chihuahua, a little bitty guy, 3 pounds. I was looking for him actually this morning and I couldn't find him. Where is he? He's in my studio someplace. Couldn't find him. You know where he was? He was in the windowsill He was up on this little windowsill and the sun was coming down on him, nice and warm, just a little bit warmer than the rest of the room. Napoleon likes to stay warm. And I looked at him. I'm always looking for metaphors and analogies. Don't even have to look. They just come in my mind. I go, that's just like human beings. It is. We want to be comfortable. Napoleon or your dog or your cat or you, we want to be comfortable. That's why we're wearing the clothes we're wearing. That's why we sit the way we sit. We want to be comfortable. The only problem with being comfortable is you don't learn a whole lot when you're comfortable. You just don't. Learning and growth and pride and all the things that we value later on in life come from stretching, from being uncomfortable. You know, I envy these people that can just sit back, have the music going and blah, 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 and they can take in everything. I wonder if it really sticks. Let me know, does that happen for you, or do you have to really focus on something to make sure it sticks? I think that technology has made us, in general, lazier. It's made us fatter. I know it's made me a lot fatter. Made us more dependent on these things and less dependent intellectually. We go to the computer and we look at the computer and we look for little quick things. Oh, we like that person. We don't like that person. And we're not taking the time to critically think. You know why? It takes time and quiet to think. At least it does for me. Most of the people that I talk with say, I would love to be able to have more quiet time. I just don't have any. And so because of that, we're attracted to these circuses on TV, on CNN or Fox News or whoever it is. Hey, we hate them. We love them. And somewhere in between is balance. Somebody, actually a bunch of people have written down, they love how I try to be balanced. It's just, it's in me. I try to look for metaphors with Napoleon in the windowsill, getting warm from the sun. I see that we have been lazy. I think that all of us in our jobs, we don't want to do more than we have to. Now, owners, entrepreneurs, we will do more than we have to do because we there's something in us. It's something inside of us, but it's not inside everybody, and that's okay. It doesn't make one side better than the other, smarter than the other. It just means we're just inspired differently. So what does that have to do with the RVIA? What does it say here? It says that their two objectives in their video, they said their two objectives are to recruit new buyers and retain current owners. Recruit new buyers. Now, with the video that they showed, with all these woohoo, people from all different walks of life and very politically correct, very woke. Woke is a term that many, many people used in their comments, but RVing is all inclusive. It should be. We should be able to get out and enjoy nature. But a lot of people talk about education. We need to couple education with inspiration, where people are educated about what they're going out and doing, getting in the RV. But guess what? That's not the RVIA's job. Their job is to make you go out and buy an RV. They don't care if it's a crappy one. I mean, they like it to be a good one. They just want you to go buy an RV. They don't care if you use it, if you live in it. They don't care. They want you and your friend and your other friend and all those other people and everybody buy an RV. But I don't think that they're taking advantage. I don't think they're pulling back and going, wait a minute. At some point, all these new people that are buying RVs, they're going to back up at the dealers. What's that going to cause to us as an industry? It used to be that 20 years ago, that if you bought an RV, if you're a family, you go out, you buy an RV, throughout your life, you're going to probably buy 3 or maybe 4 more RVs. I don't know if it's that way anymore. I think it's not going to be that way for too many people. And I think that the one and done crowd is bigger than it's ever been before. Yet who is the RVIA advertising to? They're advertising to the person that, yay, let's go. Many of the people in their comments, and this is not, your opinion is like mine. I mean, it's just our opinion. It's not a fact. We may want it to be a fact. We may think everybody ought to believe like us. What a boring place this world would be if everybody believed like me. But what happens with the one and done demographic? And there's a lot of them. I don't think there's anybody in the RVIA that doesn't see that. There are a lot of people that are going to be buying one RV and that's it. And you know what? As long as there's just a jillion people buying RVs, you can make them as cheap and crappy as you want them, and people will still buy them. And the tens of millions of dollars that flows to RVIA will still continue to go to them and enrich them. So I talked about education. Some people thought that's a really good idea. And let me talk to you about education. RVIA's function is not education. It is selling. They just want to sell you an RV. But if we don't educate people, what happens? The Wingman here had this brilliant idea more than a couple of years ago. I work with some dealers and do still some consulting work, but this one dealer has 9 RV dealerships. And a few years ago, I said, picture this. What if you had monthly classes where people came in? It's free. They don't have to be your customers. Anybody can come in. And you can teach them about RV maintenance and about what it's like, to weight distribution hitches, and all the different things that are involved in RV ownership, and make it free, have coffee, donuts, whatever, and do this, and I'll promote it on my radio show. Everybody, literally everybody said, that's a great idea. Every RVer goes, man, we would love that. Here's the reality. Almost nobody showed up at the dealership. They didn't. They just didn't. We had baseball that night. It's a church night, and I forgot, and blah, blah, it's a million different excuses. They just didn't show up. And then you've got, there's stuff online. Why don't you just make the courses online? Why don't you just make video instructional stuff online? Well, guess what? It's there. It's there. Aren't you finding it? I promise you it's there. The problem is there's so much of it there, and they conflict, these contradictory statements. People that they're the self-proclaimed experts, and they'll tell you one thing, and somebody else will tell you another. Oh. The information is out there. It takes someone, and then it turns into 2, and then 3, and then it turns into an association like RVIA. Someone has to say, I care more about, yes, I want these people from all different backgrounds and beliefs to buy our products, but I'd like them to have a better life. What does it say? Uniting the RV industry to build a better future. Who is the better future for? Is it for you, the person that's buried in their RV and doesn't know how to fix stuff? Most of that, by the way, is your fault because you didn't take the time to educate yourself. Who is it better for? The future of the RV industry. Is it better for the manufacturers? I say yes. The problem is the manufacturers are made up of thousands of people, and most of them, I'm telling you, are like you and me. They don't make a ton of money. They work their butts off. They think they deserve more money. They give and give and give and give, and there's a few people at the top that move this over there, move that over there, cut this thing, cut that thing, make my 3-year goal, and I'm out of here with my golden parachute. Screw you guys. See you later. That's why I get called too intense, because I say what I believe is the truth. The people at the top, yes, they benefit. They should benefit. But this, to me, it should be a better future for everybody. Is it a better future for the industry to have people that go, that's the biggest crock of crap. The RV dealers are crooks. All they care about is my money, and they never take care of people. Is that good for the future of the industry? I don't think so. It's not good for humanity. It's not good for personal relationships. It creates division, animosity, anger, resentment, frustration. None of that stuff is good. But we want it now. And the people at RVIA want that tens of millions of dollars, and they're going to get it. I want to know. My question is, what are they doing to retain current owners besides talking about it? Well, we're training all these technicians. Well, that's good. You better train a stadium full of them, because there are hundreds of thousands of RVs out there, and hundreds of thousands of people like me that go, I need help. Hundreds of thousands. RVIA, that's great. It's nice, but it's like putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. It's going to take more. It takes, as I said, one person. I can't be there. I don't know. All I know is what I think and what I believe and what I see. I see there's a tremendous need. a need for RVs. It provides the obvious things. It provides an escape pod for when the tornado comes your direction. It provides family fun and enjoyment. But to me, there's something much more deep, much deeper, much more meaningful, almost spiritual that can come from RVing and people that RV. And that needs to be recognized because that's where the value is. As a campground owner, I watched people come and go for 8 years, and I mingled with them. I wasn't the wingman to those people. I was the garbage man. I was the lawnmower, the weed eater. I was the swimming pool repair guy. I did all that stuff. And I saw too many people that were like the ones that are in the Go RVing commercial that had no respect. I don't know if they're intentionally being disrespectful. I don't know. Most people will not watch the video to this point, yet they'll make comments on it like they know everything. Life's hard. It's complex. I wonder sometimes if it has to be, if we're really brutally honest, if it has to be. RVIA makes their money eventually off of you, the consumer. You buy an RV, and depending upon the size of that unit and the price tag of it, there's this graduating scale of how much money that the dealer takes from you, because you pay it the price, and they send it on to RVIA. RVIA is like many associations, and I'm sorry if I'm going to offend people, like many of these associations, I've heard it say that it's a ship that sails on behalf of its crew. It starts out wanting to help people, like these conservation groups, like these animal rights groups, like all these different groups. We're going to help people. And it's a good start, but then it's really about helping the guy at the top and their little cronies. It's a ship that sails on behalf of its crew. I say the RVIA, even our politicians, our school districts, everybody, stop taking care of you first, and we get the leftovers. Really put your money where your mouth is. A rebranding campaign, when you say that you're trying to retain current owners, what are you doing? Seriously. I mean, and if you can't be specific at what you're doing, can you be general? Kind of give us a guide frame of what you're doing? We've got $15 million we're going to put in this advertising campaign. Okay, how much are you going to put in the owner retention campaign? More, less, about the same? What are you going to do? Generally speaking, I'm not trying to nail you down. I would just like to know, generally speaking, what is your plan to retain owners? Because the people that you show in those commercials, most of those people don't know what they're getting into. And you do need to care. If you say, well, we're just here to sell. We're just here to sell. You're here for more than that. We're all here for more than that. I'm here for more than just to do stupid little videos. I want to help people. And you help me. Your comments, your thoughts, especially the thoughts that, Ken and Mike and Lane, who just wrote me a friggin' novel, are so filled with thoughts, so smart, so much smarter than I am, and kind and thoughtful and supportive. And they see things from different sides. And that, as I said earlier, gives me such optimism. It's that kind of spirit, that human spirit, that we need not just in the RVIA, but we need everywhere. It's not crack the whip and let's go. Yeah! It's not that. It's a team, and we're all in this team together. So I've gone on a little bit long on this. I think that the RVIA campaign is pretty. I know they're going to spend every dime of that money because, like a government agency, they got to spend that money. Hey, what are we going to do? Spend it. How about this? Spend it wisely. Retain your customers. What do you think? Seriously, what do you think, folks? Do you think that RVIA is doing, that's all they need to do? We got TSA and we got flat screen TVs and the world is changing. You can order groceries online. You couldn't do that when the Go RVing campaign started. Maybe it's time they start looking at modifying, not doing a drastic change, modifying a mission statement that includes people like you and me, so they can retain us and we can put money in their pocket for many, many years, and our kids and grandkids will do the same. What do you think? Post your comments, send me an email, leave me a voicemail message. Whatever you do, please take the high road. Be respectful. I'm not always right. I'm not always wrong. Parts of things that I say, I don't know where they come from. They just come out. And so I'm going to say something's wrong. For that, I do apologize. But I try to be thoughtful in the message. And I'm so grateful that you are thoughtful in your responses back to me. So what do you think? Post your comments down below. Like I said, listen to every voicemail, read every email, and I'm so grateful to each and every one of you. Thanks so much. I am Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. I'll see you next time.